I just want to give a quick update in the case of 9-year-old Melody Buzzard. Now, Ashlee had another court appearance today, January 7th, 2026. It was a preliminary hearing. It was delayed today. It was a very quick appearance, maybe 5 minutes, if that, after the defense counsel waived statutory time limits during a brief court appearance in the Santa Barbara County Superior Court. A news article about the case went on to state that the smaller courtroom was filled to capacity during the proceeding and cleared out shortly after the case was heard. I did watch live on Zoom at the time, and it was standing room only. It was packed. Erica Sutherland, who is with the Public Defender's Office and appeared for the defense in place of Public Defender Adrian Galvin, told the court that Ashlee waived her right to a preliminary hearing within 60 days and extended a specific time waiver through March, noting that Ashlee had previously waived her 10-day right. The public defender also said that she intends to file what is known as a Hobbs motion related to sealed warrants and requested a 2-week continuance. A Hobbs motion allows attorneys to ask the courts for permission to withhold portions of search warrant affidavits or investigative materials to protect the safety of informants or the integrity of an ongoing investigation. The Deputy District Attorney, Jordan Locke, who was appearing for the people of the state of California, didn't oppose the continuance. The court also issued a temporary protective order issued at Ashlee's December arraignment in Santa Maria that restricts public comment by law enforcement. Judge Dunkel said that the status quo would remain in place and that the issue would be revisited at the next hearing, noting the absence of representation from the Santa Barbara County Sheriff's Office, which what the attorney was stating that, yes, they were served, this was occurring. And basically it's pretty much putting like a gag order on the sheriff's department for making any further statements about the case at this time. The next proceedings in this case will occur on January 21st. Ashlee, of course, will still remain in custody without bail. They're slating the trial an estimated time for right now to begin February 24th, with an estimation of approximately 10 days, according to the court records. Now, a few things that I thought would be helpful to maybe address because I saw some comments online today. One of them was about Ashlee and how come she gets to wear regular clothing in her court appearances. Now, that's because her public defender has actually been filing a motion for her to have this right to dress out. So the judge has approved it. That's up to the court to approve or deny a motion like that, and it's been approved every time. So that's simply why. It was filed and approved. There's really nothing more to it. The other thing that I saw a lot of was some frustration about why is this not going faster, or about delays, these quick hearings and stuff like that. And I completely understand that if you've never had to really watch one of these trials or watch this process go on, if you've been close to something like this for the very first time. It is very normal to go through these things like preliminary hearings and things get delayed. You have to also understand that you're putting together a comprehensive case, right? So you have to go through evidence. You have to see what you have for testimony, for witnesses, who you're going to call, what's going on the court calendar that you're being heard in as well. That's important. So here we typically have to have some time. They might ask for continuances so that the due diligence can be done on both the prosecution and the defense side, so that everybody's prepared, so that once trial starts, everybody's ready. And as much as anybody has animosity towards a defendant, right? And I totally get it, and I understand the emotions. We have to understand that there's just a process to it. And every person, no matter what, if you are in a defendant chair, you are entitled to a defense. These things take time, and I have not seen anything out of the ordinary in this case. I have actually seen that this case is moving along much quicker than a lot of others. There was a case I was looking at this week that has currently approximately 3 years since the incident occurred. And I'm going to be updating on that tomorrow. It's about a mother out of Massachusetts, and some of you might know, who unalived her 3 babies, okay? Her 3 children. She has still not been tried in court. Now, there's other things to that case, but I'm just saying, like, sometimes these things can take a little while and they do require some patience. It's a simple fact of understanding and recognizing the emotions that people feel towards these things, which are completely understandable, but then separating that from what the logistics are of a court process. And there's no emotion in the court process, right? It's just simply following the rules. And it's important to follow those rules and make sure that everything is done appropriately in order to make sure that it's not giving justification where if a guilty sentence is the conclusion, right, that it doesn't give a defense side anything to really appeal on, because if mistakes are made, it gives them reasons to appeal. So the best advice I can say is I think it's good to keep that on top of mind. The procedure is proceduring, right? They're going along the way that it normally does, and they're doing the process the way that it should, because the end goal is the best outcome in this case. What is the truth? And then what is a sentence potentially going to be? And how do you make sure that you're avoiding appeal possibilities and everything like that, and that all the evidence is there and presented? So I know that was a long-winded explanation, but I hope maybe that just kind of helps shed light on some of the situation here. So with that being said, we will see Ashlee at the end of January and get an update on what's going on there. And I'm sure that we'll probably get some more information and see how this is going as it works towards going to trial. Thank you for tuning in. If you have any other questions, please drop them below and I'll do my best to answer them in follow-up videos if there's any insight that I can give. And if you'd like to check out any of my other videos on this case, I have a ton below. This was actually the first case that I was reporting on when I started my own true crime channel. Being local in California, I saw it on the news and I saw that beautiful curly-haired girl, and it was the first thing that I reported on. So this is something that I will certainly never forget, and I have been following since the very beginning, so I'm pretty deep in this one. One thing to help me out, make sure you are liking, sharing, and commenting. That really helps out my page and my content as my channel grows. Thank you for being here, and as always, I will see you in the next one.